Hi, Mark. It is Wednesday, December the 17th, 9:38 a.m. Eastern. That's 2:38 p.m. GMT. US session well underway and into the afternoon portion of the European session. Let's have a look how the US dollar is performing. Starting on the dollar index on the daily chart, US dollar certainly has fought back today. I've got support at 97.81. I've got resistance 98.27, but you can see a wick at the top of the body. So that would be a bounce down of this resistance. So from dollar strength is being sold off right now, US dollar index. Let's have a look at the hourly and we'll see that. There you see the strong push during the Asian European session into the US session. You can see US dollar index now being sold off. We'll see whether the sell-off continues and sellers look down at this 97.81, continue with the downtrend we've seen on the US dollar index, or if this fight back by the US does continue and buyers get back up to this 98.27 intraday resistance level. Let's have a look how the majors are shaping up. Euro, US dollar. And there you see a similar kind of pattern to what we saw on the index. This was a full red candlestick that's selling euro, buying US. So strong US dollar certainly to start. There's the wick left behind. So that's the euro fighting back, US giving up those gains. I've got support at 117.02. I've got resistance 117.52. Buyers of euro, sellers of US will look to test this resistance level or break above. If US dollar can regain its footing and sell euro, buy US, and the US can fight back, we'll be looking down at the support at 117.02. Let's have a look at the pound against the US. There's the daily. You can see also this was a full solid red candlestick that's selling pound buying US. US started strong, but there's the wick left behind that US has given up some of those gains. Pound fighting back. I've got support at 133.10. I've got resistance 134.26. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you see the strong start by the US all the way down to the support, but giving up those gains now. And pound bouncing up off this support that's buying pound, selling US, sitting right now at 133.54. If US dollar strength does continue, red candlestick and sellers will look down back at this support if US continues to give up these gains and pound strengthens, resistance up at 134.26. Let's have a look at the US against the yen. Different picture here. Here, US dollar strong from the beginning and hasn't given up the gains as yet at the start of the US session. I've got support at 154.52. I've got resistance at 155.62. It's a good 100 pip move already. US dollar holding on to those gains. If US dollar strength continues, we'll be able to maintain around this resistance level, perhaps even push higher, although the average true range suggests maybe not much more room on the upside. If there's a turnaround from strong US to weak US, like we're seeing on the European currencies, sellers will look for a bounce down of these levels and look down at the 154.52 support level. Let's have a look at the US against the Canadian. Also strong US to start. There's the green candlestick. I've got support at 137.54. I've got resistance at 137.95, just under that 138 level. You see lots of wicks just under that 138 level. Tough level to break above. There you see the wick that's selling US, buying Canadian. US has given up some of those gains and sitting right now at 137.72, pretty much in the middle of the range. If we see continued US dollar weakness, sellers will look to retest the strong support level at 137.54. If US buyers can hang on US dollar strength, we'll get back up to maybe testing this intraday resistance just under the 138 level. So we do have levels to work with. You see, US dollar definitely did start strong, but it's given up some of those gains as the US session gets underway. We saw that against the euro, the pound, and the Canadian. Against the yen, US dollar holding on to those gains for now. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of the day.